Welcome back to another edition of the Optimized Weekly Market Recap. I'm David Ferreira, Portfolio Manager with Optimized Wealth Management. And as always for today's recap, we'll take a look at last week's activity in the markets, as well as what we're watching for in the week ahead. North American equity markets continued to move higher last week in what was a quieter trading period due to the 4th of July holiday on Thursday and Canada Day on Monday. Corporate earnings continued to come in strong, supported by more solid economic data. The Nasdaq and S&P climbed 3.5% and 1.95% respectively, both hitting new all-time highs as investors continued to push up the prices of many big tech stocks. The Dow also gained 66 basis points on the week. The TSX also had a positive start to July, rising 84 basis points for back-to-back weekly gains. Zooming in on sector performance, technology and consumer discretionary powered the equity markets advance, while healthcare and energy were the weakest performers. Looking at the events from this past week, the U.S. economy added 206,000 jobs in June, more than the 190,000 anticipated. But the unemployment rate ticked up slightly to 4.1%, which could be good news for those hoping for a Fed rate cut as early as September this year. Also helping the case for a Fed rate cut, Services Manufacturers Purchasing Manager Index, or PMI readings, both came in lower than expected at 48.8 and 48.5 respectively. The readings showed a modest contraction in sentiment in the face of higher interest rates and increased the likelihood of a U.S. rate cut. Canadian employment data for June saw unemployment rate rise to 6.4%, the highest reading since January 2022, which could spur the Bank of Canada to cut interest rates again at their next meeting on July 24th. For the week ahead, all eyes will be on June's U.S. CPI data released on Thursday, followed by the PPI index on Friday, covering all the bases from an inflation standpoint. Any signs of easing inflation should be good news for stocks. Investors will also be closely watching big bank earnings in the U.S. this week, with JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup reporting results on Friday. In Canada, building permits data will be out on Friday, which will provide a peek into the state of the Canadian housing market. And that's all for this week. As always, thank you for watching, and see you next week.